from the perspective of being really far away where it's safe, it feels like there's a little bit more permission for me to witness and be witnessed and to actually put myself together.
Welcome to the Soul Game. I'm your host, Shannon McLaren, the Mystic Agent. Through the ancient art of storytelling, our soul council of sensory experts,
Kapow!
sparkles,
And
we'll have 15 minutes to embody different aspects of the seeker's healing request.
I had an experience where I was in a emotionally abusive relationship, and part of that experience involved a pregnancy termination.
And bring about a new SOULution. Let's get into it. The Soul Game.
My name is Rose Costello. I'm 35 years old. I live in Paonia, Colorado, which is a tiny little town on the western slope. I'm a dance teacher. I'm a baker. I'm in a band. I have a garden that I'm really excited about. And I feel so pleased to be doing this. And I feel the timing is perfect for everything that's happening in my life, and just feel so like exactly in the right place at the right time. Okay, Rose.
Wonderful, thank you. So what would you like to bring today?
So the issue or the story that I had an experience where I was in a emotionally abusive relationship, just sort of last year, and part of that experience involved a pregnancy and then a pregnancy termination. And the healing that I want to receive is around letting go of my guilt and sadness, and around making that decision. And also it feels like there needs to be this piece of, I didn't even realize I was in an abusive relationship for a really long time. And I feel like there was this kind of disconnect between how I want to be treated and how I was treated. And I didn't even realize that the treatment that I was receiving was unhealthy for a really long time. And I stayed with it because I think on some level I felt like I deserved that. And I think when I found out I was pregnant and realized that it was not a good decision for me or the child to stay with this person, there's still a lot around that for me. And I think in a lot of ways I was acting on some kind of higher power that was just saying, get yourself out of this situation. And it's been a really, the hardest thing I've ever experienced. And there's just so many conflicting feelings around it. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Cool. I want to honor that and just kind of be with it for a moment. I just want to honor the place that you are in your life, and that it feels like a really powerful moment of healing that you're bringing to this.
Yeah.
So I really want to honor that for you. And I heard some different pieces in the story. There was some guilt and sadness, and there was around the pregnancy and that decision. And then I also hear that there's this relationship that while you were in it, you weren't really aware of how dysfunctional it was. And then the pregnancy itself kind of helped maybe you to realize that you needed to move out of that wasn't right for you. So it feels like there was two things in that a little bit, like it served a purpose in a way, and also there's some grieving around that.
And yeah, I feel like I should also mention I feel like the overall, there's so much shame There's so much shame through all of it. Shame about getting pregnant, shame about having an abortion, shame about being in an abusive relationship, shame about, I couldn't talk about, or I couldn't even name him as an abuser until a day or two ago, and our relationship ended 6 months ago. It was something that I thought was my fault for so long. And I was so sure that I had caused it. And I was so sure that it was. And so, there's like this self-worth piece kind of tied in with the shame. And all of the guilt, a lot of guilt.
Totally. So, just that, and it's so fresh too, right? Yeah. So fresh. So I want to honor that. This is a really fresh moment, and a really powerful time to be naming these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if there's somebody in the space that feels resonant with playing the role of shame. Adrian.
What's everyone's name again?
Oh yeah. So Adrian just volunteered to play the role for you of shame, and this is Adrian up in everybody's in a different place.
Hey Rose, I'm gonna represent shame.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. In the moment, I just have heavy sinking in my stomach, in my intestines. I have sinking in my solar plexus and in my throat. I have sinking in my face, like I wanna scream, but I actually don't. I can't even do that. And there's more coming, but I'm gonna pause there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And I'm feeling, is there anybody in the space that feels called to play the role of disconnect? The disconnect. Shannon.
Yeah. It's like I'm not seeing. It's like it's right there. I should have seen it. It's like now, it's like, oh yeah, of course. But then I wanted to be the bigger person. I wanted to make things right. I thought I knew better.
And how is that for you, Rose? Just hearing from the shame and disconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's truly it. There's this other feeling of, I recognized later how much I wanted to believe that it was the right thing, and how much I wanted it. I wanted that life. I wanted the child. I wanted the relationship. And I was so willing to just blind myself to what was actually happening. Yeah, just wanting that so badly. And finally having to realize that it wasn't it.
Yeah. I'm curious, how is this for you, Ruby? What do you feel?
I feel kind of neutral, surprisingly. But I feel like this place deep in my stomach of I feel very content, this one very potent spot in the pit of my stomach where I just feel really happy to be far away. from all of that, to just be so far away, to just be alone. I feel like safe, like this safety and this like sadness like wrapped up with it, but like ultimately I feel like it's okay. Like I need to be here.
Yeah. How is that for you? Shame and disconnect, to hear from Ruby.
I find her very sweet, and it's comforting. Her neutrality is potent for me, and that she feels like she was purposeful. And that may be my word, but that's what I got from her expression.
I noticed that for a majority of this time, I was having a hard time looking at you all. Like I just needed to keep I just had a hard time looking. And when Ruby spoke, something around permission came up for me. Permission, it seems like from far away, in the shoes of from the perspective of being really far away where it's safe, it feels easier to see. It feels like there's a little bit more permission for me to witness and be witnessed, and to actually put myself together. I don't know if that's the right word. Just be put to be seen and to see. That's, yeah. It seems easier from this far away, from this safe place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Shannon.
I have this thing happening right now in my space that's very distracting, and I want to go place my attention there. And I just think I needed to say that in this space. Like, things are coming up around me that I want to go like adjust in other people. They need to be fixed right now with my energy. And then I'm thinking, no, I need to stay here. This moment is precious and healing. But yet I have this thing going on that I would really like to go over here and mess with these mofos. They're being too loud.
Right. Well, we can't hear them, but I honor that that's in the field for you.
Yes.
As disconnect. You're noticing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, a distraction of like my focus, my purpose.
Yeah. Some distraction from disconnect. Cool. How is all of this for you, Rose? Where are you at?
It's all resonating quite a lot, and it's really interesting to see. I've been kind of working with all of the emotions, trying to get them more at arm's distance and being able to kind of see what's happening, or because the grief and the sadness is so overwhelming and so omnipresent that I've tried to find little ways to just, okay, this is what I'm experiencing right now. And what Ruby said was really clear about that, this place that I'm finally getting to just really recently, which is just this extreme gratitude for being in a more neutral place with it and being able to feel safe and feel distant from it, and to feel, I can finally see things objectively rather than be so confused and disoriented by what's happening.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That feels really powerful. Just what you said about that process of getting oriented through space, a little bit of arm's distance, right?
Yeah.
Because that grief is so omnipresent, to be able to just have some space in it to be neutral and get that perspective and let things kind of land. It's really, really healing just to be in that space. And I kind of want to hold that for you and just say, like, I feel like that, like we could just let that kind of permeate through the space here and all be in that with you. And from that place of neutral, spacious, objective clarity and honoring, being with both the grief and with all of the things and the truth that's coming forward. I just want to invite one word from each of the participants, each of the players, how that lands for you, just to be with that, really feeling that.
Clarity.
Yeah.
I think permission and forgiveness.
Yeah, that was the word that I had, was permission. There's something around this. It's okay with where I'm at, the distance.
Is there anything that you would like to say in closure or in completion for you, Rose? Just for yourself?
The permission thing, I mean, all those words were just so perfect. The clarity, permission, forgiveness. It feels like that the last piece in this that I'm really getting is the forgiveness piece, is really being able to forgive myself, giving myself permission to forgive myself, and how that has been bringing clarity, and and that it's all okay.
Yeah, it's all okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, that was beautiful, and I so honor your journey, and I so appreciate you being willing to bring your story here for yourself to receive, but also for all of anyone who's witnessing to also receive. And I'm going to invite you and everyone in the space to just take a moment as we come into closure, just to call your energy back into your body, calling all of your parts and pieces and through time and space, bringing all of you home into this moment, this spacious, contained, perfect moment. And may this work move through you and inspire you and continue to work through you in your life. And may you become an agent of action for your soul. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you all. That was really, really great. I so appreciate it. Really helpful. Thank you all so much for holding that so preciously.
Such an honor.
How are you feeling since your session?
Since my session, I'm feeling more relieved. I feel as though there's more space between me and what I experienced and how I'm feeling about that experience, and the waves of grief, really the waves of all of the different emotions. There's a little more space there. And I feel like I have more permission to be with them all and to
yeah, it's all good, really. That's kind of the biggest thing I got, stepping away from that. Yeah.
It's all good?
It's all good. It's all good. Whatever I'm feeling is all good. However I'm going through this process, it's all good. That seeing people kind of act out the emotions gave me a lot more compassion for myself in the experience. Like, oh, right. And a lot more understanding of my humanness. You know, that I was just really doing the best that I could. And so, yeah, it was nice to just sort of see like that, even though, I mean, I've heard a lot of people with a similar story, but there was something about even just the ways we can connect through similar emotions or similar feelings, you know, the feeling of disconnect, the feeling of, you know, and how that kind of mirrors through a lot of different scenarios, and just the humanness of it all.
I love that, Rose.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for this. I mean, it was very helpful to get there, this whole experience.
Good.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself from this session?
Well, I will say that what I learned about myself is the huge piece around me getting through this is the self-forgiveness. And I have a lot of resistance to the self-forgiveness. And that's what I was noticing that kind of prior to this experience, and being able to kind of share that and have it being held, just sort of maybe put down whatever stick I was beating myself with, you know, that kind of martyrness that I was experiencing and was in. And that word around permission, I don't remember who said permission, but it just, oh yeah, I can give myself permission to forgive myself, even give myself permission to feel all this, but give myself permission to forgive. And that was a huge, huge piece.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, visit themysticagent.com for more information on how you can be our next seeker in the soul game.